Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. Today, we are back. We are back with another entry into this Star Wars chapter of this video game Lego video game series. The Lego Star Wars Disney Plus show video game is what we're on right now. And we're continuing with the Mandalorian. Of course, last entry, we completed Mando Season 1 with level ideas. Now we are moving on to Mando Season 2, and this is going to go for the same. So in this video, we're going to do the first 4 episodes, which also means the first 4 levels of Mando Season 2. And then the next video, we're going to do the last 4 levels, or the last 4 episodes of Mando Season 2. So we're stopping at the episode called The Siege, which was, I love that episode. What a great episode. Actually, Mando Season 2 has, perfect episodes. I love every episode in this season. But yes, so we're starting with The Marshal, which was the first episode of The Mandalorian Season 2. Great starting episode, incredible episode. Very excited to get into it, but if you're new to this series, I typically like to kind of run through what the series is about real quick in the beginning here, so that's what I'll do now. If you're new to the series, this is the first one you're watching, please go watch the other episodes just to kind of get a better feel for how this episode is going to go. But again, if you're just going to watch this one, that's fine. Basically what I do here is I have written out some ideas for if Lego were to make a Lego Star Wars Disney Plus show video game, basically kind of covering all the Disney Plus shows, and the story mode would be all the different shows. I kind of design video game or Lego game levels based around every episode of every Star Wars series basically out there that Disney Plus has done, and live action. Live action, yeah, no, I was going to say live action mostly, but just so far live action, because we've only really done The Mandalorian, but of course I plan on doing the other Star Wars shows. It's not really a spoiler for anything. But yeah, today we're doing Mando Season 2, and you'll kind of see how it works as we go along here. I'll be reading out some stuff, like the characters you play as, the objective of that part of the level, and every level is divided up into 3 parts. So, in this case, a better way to explain it, every episode is divided up into 3 parts, which were turned into level moments, I guess, with objectives. And yeah, so, it might be kind of a weird way that I explained it, but once we get into the video, you'll kind of see how it works. So, here we go, starting with level 9, or episode 9, basically, of The Mandalorian, and that is The Marshal. Alright, so, starting with The Marshal here, level 9, part 1 of level 9 is, of course, Mos Pelgo. This level here is a very open level. There's a lot of free roamability to the level, sort of. That's not really a word, I don't think. But anyways, part 1 here is Mos Pelgo, and you're going to be playing as the Mandalorian in his Beskar armor, and you'll also be playing as the child, of course. And the objective here is to search for the armor in Mos Pelgo. So, how I envision it is, if you've seen the episode of The Mandalorian, obviously spoilers, major spoilers for everything here in The Mandalorian Season 2. If you haven't seen Mando Season 2, go watch it, it's amazing. In the beginning, they were kind of Mando and the child were walking through Mos Pelgo, the town of Mos Pelgo. Very small town, but I think it could be translated well into a Lego level kind of area, considering you could just have 2 invisible walls where the buildings would stop, and then that whole area could just kind of be open to solving puzzles and stuff like that. So how I envision it is that the goal is to get to the bar, right? To get to that bar where he meets with Cobb Vanth and everything like that. So my guess is maybe the doors stop working or they're shut or something like that, and you have to basically go around Mos Pelgo doing a bunch of different puzzles and stuff like that, and then eventually reaching the point where you're able to open the doors, and then go into the bar, and then that kickstarts the cutscene. But again, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a very open kind of area. I mean, then again, in the episode, Mos Pelgo was a very small town. It wasn't very big. It was very, contained almost. So I'm kind of thinking I might as well just translate that sort of, that you can walk along the middle part where the sand is, and then you have both sides are 2 deck sides, and then there's obviously all the buildings of the town of Mos Pelgo, and it just be very open, and you can just as the child and Mando, you can just kind of run around the entirety of the Mos Pelgo area, and just kind of complete missions and do different puzzles along both sides of the area, to eventually get to the point where you're able to open the door of the bar and then walk in, start the cutscene. You know what I mean? Very straightforward here. And then even for the even for the if there was an open world to this game, which I'm not doing any videos on that, but if there was an open world to this game, it'd probably be very similar, very open area of most Pelgo to explore, basically. But anyways, that's only part 1, and I kind of took a lot of time talking about part 1. But anyways, part 2 is the Tuscans. This is going to be another example of a very open area to play through, basically. Again, you'll be playing as the Mandalorian in his Beskar armor. You'll also be playing as Cobb Vanth in, his Season 2 of Mando look. And he'll be helmetless as well. He won't have the Boba helmet. And the objective here is to fly on the speeders and make stops to kind of clear the path area. So as I was saying, it's going to be a very open area, very similar to the Most Pelgo part 1 of this level here. And what I envision is that, again, you'll play as Mando and Cobb Vanth, and you'll be able to jump on the speeders and fly through the Dune Sea and fly through wherever you're, going, wherever that path is. And then you'll make stops along the way to, jump off the speeder, complete a puzzle, then jump back on the speeder and continue on down the line. It's almost going to be like in Lego Indiana Jones, the first one from 2006, I think that was. Maybe in 2006 or 2007, I don't remember. But in that, there was a level from The Last Crusade where you played as Indiana Jones and Henry Jones, and you had this motorbike that you can drive on, that you can just kind of drive through the area, and then you have to stop and then complete a puzzle, and then you can keep driving through after that part. So that's kind of how I envision this to go, where you're on your speeders as Cobb Vanth and Mando, flying through the Dune Sea, stop, oh, we have a little mission to complete here, or the Tuscans want something so we can pass by, and then, you do that mission around that little area, then you jump back on the speeders and fly and continue going until, you reach the next puzzle. So that's kind of how I envision this, very open area to just kind of complete puzzles and stuff like that. So that is part 2. Then part 3 is the Crate Dragon. Now, of course, this is going to be about the ending of the episode here. Again, you're going to be playing as the Mandalorian in his Beskar armor, and you'll also be playing as Cobb Vanth with his, Season 2 of Mando look with a helmet this time. He won't be helmetless. He'll have his helmet this time. And the objective here is to have a giant boss fight with the Crate Dragon. So, I guess to be honest with you, I probably imagine this as being very open as well, where it's just going to be that whole open arena-looking area right outside the cave of the Crate Dragon, and, you're going to have a bunch of, NPC characters running around, a bunch of NPC Tusken Raiders, and most Pelgo city members, or town members, whatever, and they're all going to be, firing out at the Crate Dragon. The Crate Dragon's spitting out all its acid and stuff like that, but, you as Mando and Cobb Vanth are going to be very honed in, and you're going to be focusing on taking down the Crate Dragon. There'll probably even be a sequence where, in the episode, Cobb Vanth and Mando fly up to the side of the Crate Dragon and start shooting at it to distract it. Maybe there'll be a quick time event sequence with that, and then you go back to fighting the Crate Dragon on the ground and trying to damage it using the Tusken Raider ballista looking things to grab at it and stuff like that. This would be a very cool level. I'm very happy with how this level, how I wrote out this level and how I envisioned this level, because I think it'd be a lot of fun. And, maybe even the camera perspective will change when the Crate Dragon comes from the back, from behind in the dunes. That would be really cool. There's so much cool stuff that he could do there, because that entire battle scene was incredibly well done. It was amazing to watch that. So that is level 9. I spent a lot of time talking about level 9 here. I just, one of my favorite levels that I ever envisioned, because it's it sounds like so much fun. I wish it was real, So, yeah, that's level 9. Again, I spent a lot of time on it, so let's get to level 10 here. Now, moving on to level 10, and this is also, corresponds with episode 10, which is the Passenger. This is the one with the frog lady in it. So, this level, part 1 of this level, will be that little robbery moment where, in the beginning of the episode, Mando is still heading back on Tatooine to, leave Tatooine. He's on the speeder, and then a bunch of raiders kind of stop him and destroy his speeder and start trying to steal his stuff. So in this part, you'll be playing as the Mandalorian, Beskar armor. You'll also be playing as the Child, two very common characters that you usually will be playing as throughout this game. And the objective here is to defeat all the robbers. So I'm kind of envisioning it as there's going to be a boss fight health bar at the top, and it's just going to be the boss fight's just going to be a bunch of the robbery guys. And they'll just keep kind of coming out eventually in waves, and you'll just have to keep fighting them to lower down that boss life meter sort of. And then eventually when you beat the last guy, the boss fight meter will go down all the way, and then you can go into a cutscene, but that's kind of how I envision it. Just kind of like a full-blown like fight sequence basically with this. I was even kind of thinking, like, depending on the angle of the camera, maybe you could see like Boba Fett in the background, kind of like spying on Mando. I don't know. It was just kind of a thought, like little cool Easter eggs in this moment as well. And there'll probably be like a whole sequence where Mando loses his jetpack, and the guy tries to steal it, and then you can like control it to defeat like the last robber or something like that. Or maybe there's even going to be a boss fight with that one robbery guy too, like in particular, like a boss fight focused on him, because he was kind of like the main guy, the guy that was at least focused on the most. But I don't know. There's a lot that you could probably do here with this like fight sequence part of the level here, but that is part one. I don't want to make this as long as the first level that I took all that time. Part two. Next up, we're getting right into it here. Is the ice cave? That ice cave that when Mando, the child, and Frog Lady crashed onto that planet, they got into like this ice cave area. So in this part, you'll be playing as the Mandalorian in his Beskar armor, as well as the child again. And the objective here is to find the Frog Lady in the ice cave. So in the episode, the Frog Lady isn't really trustworthy of Mando and decides to take off and go to go deeper within the ice cave to go and go. What would she do? Was she like in a hot tub or a hot spring or something like that when they found her? So in this part, you'll be playing as again the Mandalorian and the child, and you'll be kind of walking through the halls of the ice cave to eventually make your way to find the Frog Lady in the springs. Very simple level, just kind of doing a bunch of puzzles to kind of make your way through this ice cave, and then eventually once you reach the Frog Lady, the cutscene will begin. Next part is the spiders. All those gross Star Wars spiders. Ugh, it was so gross. It gives me chills. You'll be playing as Mando and Beskar, the child, and you'll also be playing as the Frog Lady. And the objective here is to now escape the ice cave and the spiders. The spiders were so gross. Oh, they're so gross. So how I envision this is the same ice cave that you were, walking through to go meet with the Frog Lady. You'll be escaping it, now. And I'm thinking like maybe it's going to be some sort of mechanic where you can't sit still for too long or the spiders are going to catch up to you. So, like as these three characters, you'll have to like run probably towards the screen is how the camera will be implemented. And you have to run towards the screen to escape the spiders, and the spiders will keep kind of like coming after you. And you'll have to you'll basically be timed sort of, where you'll have to quickly solve puzzles before the spiders reach you. And then you can move on to like the next part of the ice cave to trying to escape it, because while this is all going on, like the giant spider is like destroying the cave and stuff like that, and causing like crashes of all the ice and stuff like that. So maybe there's like a buildup of some of the ice blocks, and you have to find a way to uncover it and then move on as the spiders are slowly coming in on you. So that's kind of how I envision that ending sequence to go, almost again like a timed sequence, which I think will be kind of interesting and add a little challenge. But yeah, that's level 10 there. That's the passenger. Now we'll move on to level 11, which is the Heiress. The Heiress. I don't know how to say that. Alright, so now we are on to level 11, which is the Heiress. And this oh man, this episode was... What an episode this was. Because this was the reveal of Bo-Katan in live action for the first time. And all those the two other Mandalorians she had with her. Oh, what a great episode. Anyways, this was actually an action-packed episode, too, so I really liked this episode a lot. The Heiress, yes, part 1 here is, the scene with the Mon Calamari, right? That's what they're called, I believe. No, that's not them, because they're the fish people. I'm talking about the squid guys. No, wait, Mon Calamari, I think that's right. I don't remember what that species is called, but the guys that were on the boat, and they hit the child's pram into the water, and then Mando jumped in after to go save the child. So instead of just playing as Mando and the child, you'll instead be playing as Bo-Katan and her season 2 outfit for Mando, Axe Woves, and Koska Reeves. So that whole team of 3 there, those team of 3 Mandalorians. And the objective here is to kind of clear out that entire boat and find a way to open up that cage to save Mando and to save the child. Because obviously they're like stuck in like this cage in the water where this creature is. And as these 3 Mandos, you have to go in and you have to try and, find a way to open up that cage and save Mando, and while also clearing out that boat of all those guys. Again, I forget what that species is called, but, yeah, this was a really cool moment, because, again, this was the introduction of Bo-Katan into live action for the first time, and it was amazing to see her actually fighting, too. As the first time we see her in live action, she's in a fight, which is awesome. And again, those 2 other Mandalorians were very, very cool characters. And yeah, so that's basically part 1. You got to save Mando and the child while also clearing out that whole boat area. So yeah, there you go. Then part 2 is this is the part right after that, where the Mon Calamari guy goes, "You killed my brother," and then Mando's like, Mando didn't say anything, but Bo-Katan was like, "He didn't kill your brother, I did," and then they got into another fight, and I was like, "Oh man, what a cool continuation." So in this time, you'll be playing as Mando and Beskar, because now he's doesn't have to be saved. You'll be playing as Axe Woves, Koska Reeves, and Bo-Katan. So you're playing as 4 Mandalorian characters at one time, and the objective here is to fight all those Mon Calamari ambushers in the town. So to kind of make this more of a dragged out like level part, just kind of make it like more, add some more meat to it, sort of. I was thinking maybe like you'd have to go throughout the town rather than just like that one spot where they fought the Mon Calamari. You'd kind of go throughout that little waterside town and kind of attack Mon Calamari that are coming at you and stuff like that. That's kind of how I envision this part to go, just to add a little bit more to it, to add a little bit more like substance to the actual level here. But 4 Mandalorians in one part of the level. That sounds pretty good. So then part 3 here is obviously the main kind of part of the episode here, where they're doing the whole "Long Live the Empire" thing, and you'll be playing as Mando, Koska Reeves, Bo-Katan, and Axe Woves, and the objective is to clear out the Imperial freighter. So how I envision this is that it's going to be very similar to episode 9. It's going to be a very open area. So, like, you basically be able to explore the entirety of that Imperial freighter, and you'll be able to kind of, like, run through, fight all the troopers, fight all the officers, go down to the cargo hold and, like, wipe out those guys by pulling the lever and, like, shooting them all out of the ship. And then eventually you have to, make your way up to the deck of the ship, and that's eventually where you're going to kickstart the cutscene. But, it's going to be a very open area, the Imperial freighter, just to kind of explore it, run around, get into battles with stormtroopers, solve puzzles to kind of like get to the next area of that freighter. And again, you have to like go down to the cargo hold, then go back up to the bridge. So a lot of fun stuff here that could definitely be turned into like parts of levels and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically level 11. I mean, that's the Heiress there. So now we'll move on to the last level of this video, which is the Siege. Now we are on to the final level, final episode, or actually not the final episode, but final level of this video, which is also the final episode that I'll be going over in this video, but not the final episode of Mando Season 2, of course. It's only 4 episodes, it's not a lot. So, level 12 here, the Siege, and part 1 of the Siege is when Mando and the child, you'll be playing as Mando and the child, are exploring the newly created Navarro, almost, because of course Greef Karga now kind of runs Navarro, and he kind of made it more of like a town, like a society, like a group of people, like a city, basically, where, there's schools now, and, like, everybody's kind of happier, the Empire's off their tail, like, it just seems like a happier place. So, basically, the idea here is, as Mando and the child, you'll be following Greef Karga throughout the town, the Navarro town, the new Navarro town. So, Greef Karga will just kind of be like an NPC character walking throughout the town. And as Mando and the child, you'll be able to explore around the town, collect studs as you go along, and probably solve a few puzzles to kind of like to continue making your way through the town. And it'll probably stop at the part where Mando has to drop off Grogu to the school, or the child to the school, rather. We haven't got to that part yet. We don't know he's Grogu yet. Where he has to drop the child off at that Navarro school. That's probably where it'll stop, but as you kind of following Greef Karga throughout Navarro, and that's mainly it's very, very calm part of this beginning level here, but it amps up very quickly here. So the next part here, part 2, is the when they infiltrate the Imperial base. You'll be playing as Mando and Beskar, Cara Dune in her Season 2 attire, Greef Karga in his Season 2 look as well, and also the Mythrol in his Season 2 look. And the objective here is to infiltrate the Imperial base. So, of course, this is obviously most of the episode, most of where the runtime goes into the episode. And, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be very similar to, in the last level when they were clearing out that Imperial freighter, how that was going to be a very open area, open worlds, basically. This is going to be very similar to where this Imperial base will be kind of like a very open area, and as these characters, you're going to be kind of running through, getting into fights with stormtroopers, then eventually making your way to where the Mythrol has to go shut down the levers and kind of start up like that, the lava pressure or something like that. I don't even know what that was. I forget. By the way, I haven't rewatched the season yet. I haven't had really time. I wanted to kind of record all of these in a bunch. So, but basically, yeah, the part where the Mythrol has to kind of change the pressure of the lava and whatever, and then begins to rise, and then you have to escape as well. So it's like the full bulk of the episode here, and is what is translated into this part of the level. And again, you're going to be going through, you're going to be infiltrating, you're going to be setting up that lava pressure thing, and then you're going to be escaping too. And then you get to the point where like they see the vials of what seemed to be Snoke. I don't know for certain though, or what Palpatine clones, whatever they were, in those vials. In that episode, amazing episode. What a reveal too, crazy reveal. Whatever the theories say out there, I don't even know what the theories say anymore. But yeah, that part of the episode basically is what you're going to be that's probably where the cutscene will probably start, now that I think about it more. So yeah, that's probably where the cutscene will start, and then you go to part 3 rather, and part 3 is the Imperial Transport Escape part, where you'll be playing as Cara Dune, who will be kind of piloting the Imperial Transport, and you'll be playing as Greef Karga, who will be the gunner on the Imperial Transport. So this is going to be a similar style to in Season 1. At the end of Season 1, you played as Queel and a Blurg, where like the Blurg was running, and as Queel you'd be a shooter on the back of the Blurg trying to stop all the the scout troopers on speeders. That's basically what's going to happen here. You're going to be playing as Cara Dune. She's going to be able to kind of move the Imperial transport throughout this little cavern that they're flying through, and then as Greef Karga, you'll be shooting down the TIE fighters and the scout troopers on speeders, as you kind of fly through these caverns. And the objective, again, escape the caverns and take down the TIE fighters, so basically what I just said. So yeah, that's where that level ends, and that's actually where this video ends too. So let's wrap this video up. So there you all have it. That is the first video of the Mandalorian Season 2, first 4 episodes, first 4 levels. Next video, or next, next whatever part of this chapter, we'll be going over the last 4 episodes / levels of Mando Season 2. Then we will be moving on to whatever's next. So yeah, this is the first 4, and yeah, that's really about it. I'm trying to think of things to say, but there's really nothing else to say. I've already wrapped it up. So if you enjoyed that video, do the common YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.